ain't making sense. They tell us go to college, but ain't tell us about this damn debt. Interest is a motherfucker, know they coming for your assets. Steady hitting backflips, ran around the Atlas. Pray we make it back in. Gave my brother 2 P's and told him hit me on the back end. Wishing I could text my nigga Tay and tell him tap in. Wishing I could call my cousin Cy and say we gon' win. You know I'm finna go in. Black on black violence, seen so many come and go. It's like I'm numb to the wrong shit. You better buy this property, ain't no way you ain't gon' get rich. Philosophy like Socrates, ain't no way you ain't gon' feel this. I'm giving niggas game TNT, but you don't hear me.
All right, thank you guys for tuning back in. We are in episode 13 of the Let Me Speak podcast. So I just want to say thank you guys so much again, for tuning back in. Who do I have with me today?
Saeed, live from Paradise, CEO. My dog, I'll let him introduce himself.
I go by Justin Time, CEO SSOLA, producer, artist,
All right. Where you guys from?
Richmond, California, South Richmond, California, Bay Area.
From the Bay, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm from the hometown, LA, Compton to be exact.
Okay. What you doing all the way out here from the Bay?
Man, my pop's from out here. He from Watts.
Okay.
That's how I know Debbie and shit. Like, you feel me?
So, okay. Yeah, Debbie was in here last time.
Yeah. That's my dog. Just got a lot of family down here. So
that's what's up.
Left was in college in the HBCU in Ohio.
Okay.
Didn't want to go back to the Bay after I left there, so I came back to LA. Came out here.
That's what's up. How'd y'all link up?
It's crazy. I had been hearing about him from one of my bros for a while that he went to school with.
Okay.
Out in Ohio, and just randomly one day I was on the phone with him, and he was like, "Oh, I got Saeed right here." And I'm like, "Well, for real?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, put him on the phone and exchange info, and ever since then, been rocking.
Cool. All right, Saeed. You got anything you wanna tell the listeners you got coming out, or what's up? What's going on with you?
What ain't going on right now, man? 2019 was crazy for us. We lost a lot of music. Like throughout the whole year, we lost 100
over 100 songs.
A lot of projects and stuff. So we went into like overload, like just working. So right now we got like 6.5, almost 7 projects coming out this year.
Okay.
All for Saya 3. That's coming out January 29th. That's in memory of my little cousin Saya. We got PTO, Consistency EP.
A lot of music.
Man, we got a lot of music. We got too much.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Before we jump into it, though, what was the name of that song we just heard? Tell us about that.
Black on Black. That's when my cousin John Royce from Atlanta, and produced by my dog Trey Parker. You feel me? Also a live producer. We did that like a couple years ago, a year and a half ago. Shot the video about a year ago.
What made you want to do that song?
Just, man,
the message. I love it.
Just what's been going on, the shit we seeing every day in the streets. People being gunned down, police brutality, just black on black violence, genocide. Like, so it just inspired me. Stuff that I've seen and things that I've been through and people around me that I've been through. Yeah,
I love it. Cool. So let's just get into it. As some of you may have heard, and we were just talking about it, the whole Orlando Brown thing. If you guys listen, if you have not heard about it, Orlando Brown, he went on Instagram to say that he allowed Nick Cannon to give him oral sex. So Orlando Brown, in my opinion, he's been needing help.
Yeah.
He's been really needing some help, and aside from him, Delonte West as well.
Right.
I know you guys saw that video with him. Yeah. For those who listen, you don't know who Delonte West is. He used to be in the NBA. Recently, there's a video that went viral of him in the streets. He just
looking bad,
horrible.
But mental illness. Yeah.
So that's what I was getting at. Mental illness. I feel like within the Black community, we kind of sweep that under the rug. We don't take that serious. As serious as we should. Like I said, we sweep it under the rug. I know growing up, my family's from the South. Nobody really talks about that. It's just, pray about it or, that's it.
Right.
But although we do need to pray about it, but I do feel like we need to take more action.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I just want to know, what do you guys think about that? how you feel about, you know, mental illness within our community and Orlando Brown and Delonte West. And
well, I'm gonna start with Orlando Brown. You know, I feel like it's a lot of mental illness that plays a part with him. Like, if everybody noticed, like, this is not his first incident or, you know, first type of, you know, thing he's done for publicity, for clout, as we call it now. Delonte West, man, it just, you can see that he's troubled. Like, you know, he's had a lot going on. His past is like catching up to him. And I mean, like, you know, a lot of people we got choices as people, you know, as adults, as human beings. We have choices that we make. And, you know, I mean, he made some unfortunate choices, and sometimes you make choices and you can't stumble back from them. Or sometimes, like, the limelight, or sometimes, like, the just being on that platform and having that voice, or just being who that person, you know, it's like, it's hard to be that person. Like, some people can't handle it.
Yeah.
And like, mental health in our community is just, it's like, it's been very prevalent, you know, since like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Like you say, a lot of our families, our parents and grandparents tell us, like, oh, you know, you go ahead, rub some dirt on it. You gonna be good.
Yeah,
like, you know,
exactly.
ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, you know, you know, depression is real.
Yes.
You know, anxiety is real.
And I feel like, especially for the black man, that they don't get to express that at all. You know, me personally as a woman, it's easier for me to be expressive about stuff like that. But, you know, you guys being black men, like, how do you feel like that affects the men within our black community?
I think that's something that's constantly we constantly overlook, just based on the fact that in our communities, black men are the head of the household. They're the strength. They're the power.
Can't show any.
You can't really show weakness.
Yeah.
Like, we've been taught that through everything, through sports, through life, just everything. Be strong. You got to show resilience. You got to show all this. And being vulnerable is just a sign of weakness. That's what we always been taught. So I think when we have that opportunity to actually be vulnerable and come out and do that, it's hard for us to do it because we don't know how it's going to be received.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we don't want to feel embarrassed or feel, you know, feel like we don't want to feel weak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where it all comes from, just the feeling of weakness and being taught to be strong. And
just in our society, man, just in our culture, we very judgmental.
Yes.
Very, like, as African Americans, like, we, you know, and it stems from, it don't matter, in the household, in the church, in the streets, like, people judge you, you know, just by your appearance, just by, you know, whatever you like, you know, whatever fancies you. And I think so a lot of us is like afraid to be theyself, to be them, you know. It's like, I have to live up to this standard, you know, like you say, I gotta be tough. Like, I'm growing up in these circumstances, in this, like, rough environment. So for me to be, you know, maybe not tough, you know, or just not aggressive, like, people is gonna take advantage of me, or, you know, people gonna look at me as soft, you know. And so, like, I think, you know, it's just, we got to get to the point where it's like, we telling people it's okay to express yourself. It's okay to come, if you really got something on your mind that you need to talk about, it's okay to go to therapy, you know. Like a lot of people look at therapy as bad, you know, like, oh, I'm crazy, or I ain't crazy, I don't need that, like, woo woo. And it's like, man, listen, bro, like,
that's what we need.
We need is therapists have therapists, you know, and people don't even know that, you know. So it's just like, look at that, and look at these things that's like, these different things that's going on in your household, and say, man, look, do we need to talk about it? Do we need to go to therapy as a family unit, as an individual, whatever? And
I think that's why we tend to destroy ourselves within our community, because we don't take that stuff seriously, you know. Right. We don't sit down and have the talks that we need with our family and within ourselves, and just, you know, getting the help that we need, the mental health that we need. You know, not everybody needs mental health, but it is clearly it's a problem. Right. And we need to stop ignoring it. Yeah. Right. I also want to talk, we were talking about it a little earlier, I just want to talk about R. Kelly, because I do feel like, do you guys feel like he's suffering from mental health?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I just like it stems back to, if you know his past and what happened to R. Kelly. He suffered from child molestation and things of that nature. So a lot of people that are predators or child molesters and stuff like that, they've experienced it, so they normalize it in their brain, because it's like, this happened to me for so many years. You know,
okay.
And it's like, okay, now that this happened to me, it's okay for me to do it to somebody else. I don't look at it as a bad thing, because maybe this is something that that has happened in my family. Like, I know people in my family that have been, molested by other family members and stuff like that. So it's just like, that's within itself is something to struggle with. Like he's definitely had mental illness. Like if you can look back to his whole life, he's always had some controversy or something going on in the media where it's like, and if you listen to a lot of his songs, like
I said all the time, he's telling y'all,
in
these songs, he's telling us, and I do feel like, I do agree with you that he is suffering mental health, and I feel like I think it was Erykah Badu who she had posted something about how she was still like, she cared about him and that he's suffering, and I feel like some people kind of jumped on her because I feel like people within our Black community, they did get upset with her because they feel like, oh, what he did was wrong, like like they don't pay attention to the fact that he is mentally ill. And I feel like we're just so, like you said, we're so judgmental, and we're so ready to just jump on somebody's neck and yes, it was wrong.
Right.
I'm not negating the fact that it was wrong.
Right.
It was definitely wrong, but like we said, he's mentally ill.
Right.
So I just feel like, he needs some help. I feel like Delonte West, he needs some help. Orlando Brown, they all need some help.
Yeah.
And we need to take mental health within our community a lot more serious.
Yep.
Agreed.
And it's a lot of programs, and just be an advocate is speaking up. It's a lot of free programs out here just in LA. Like, I work in the mental health field. It's so many mental health programs that's free, that the county is giving. That people that are on Medi-Cal or Medicare, you can go receive these benefits, so all you have to do is research. If you just go down to your city hall, go downtown to the county building, and just grab some pamphlets, some literature, just advocate for yourself. If you know somebody in need, advocate for them, point them in the right direction. Even if don't turn the other cheek, and leave this stone unturned. You feel me? Let them know, like, man, look, I know somebody over here that can help you.
Definitely.
So,
do you feel like with you being an artist, do you feel like within the hip hop community, it's a lot of people suffering from that mental illness within the hip hop community?
Definitely. Just with a lot of artists, if you could just see a lot of the suicides and a lot of the overdoses, like this stems from a lot of pain, like that they're trying to subside it, like subside this pain, and they're using coping mechanisms.
Yes.
A lot of it's in the music though. If you really listening to the words instead of listening to get the enjoyment, if you listening to what a lot of these artists is talking about, it's a lot of pain in their music. Besides what the music make you feel like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really pay attention to Juice WRLD music, you can listen to what he was going through.
Right.
You pay attention to XXX. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of pain in his music.
And I feel like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you good. Go ahead.
I feel like those. I'm gonna just say, I feel like a lot of the white people, they don't look at us or these rappers as somebody who is sick.
Nah,
they're
not
just
at all.
Thugs, man,
it's
sagging
entertainment.
thugs.
It's entertainment to them. That's what we've always been seen as.
Yes.
When it comes to the Caucasian race, you know what I mean? We've always been looked at entertainment, and whatever we're doing is a form of entertainment. It could be basketball, it could be it's comedy, it could be acting. As long as it's entertainment, that's what we are.
About,
that's what we are. You the court jester for us. That's what we are.
Yeah.
It stems back to like the Sambo back in that days with the minstrel shows and the black faces. Where the whites will put on the black faces and paint these big red lips. To mock us and be funny.
Yeah.
And it stems back to that. And they look at us as thugs and hooligans, but it's like they put like a lot of these environments were placed upon us. Like